From Minnesota sisters with stories to share. We're purely been where sisterhood meets pop culture. Purely pin, come on in. From Minnesota sisters with stories to share. We're purely pin where sisterhood meets pop culture. Purely pin, come on in. Purely pin, come on in.
Welcome to Purely Pinned, our PEO-inspired pop culture podcast. I'm Kimberly Owens from Chapter CL in St. Paul, Minnesota.
And I'm Deann Lufkin from Chapter FR in Northfield, Minnesota.
Hi, Deann.
Hi, Kimberly. It's been so long.
So today we are going to do our post-convention recap.
Yes.
I mean, we are fresh.
It was just Sunday. And today
was
is Thursday.
4 days ago? I
Yep.
don't know. When we recorded this, it was just a few days.
Yep.
And we have so much to cover. So this is so exciting. So what was the theme this year? Oh, I don't recall. It was up north.
It
like
was
the-
Finding Your True North.
Finding your true north. And so let me just say this. The chapter that did the decorations for this year's convention, for the staging, it was incredible.
It really was. I mean, the backdrop was stunning.
And I'm sorry, we had a crazy convention. We'll get to it. Well,
Which will
Deann did.
explain why we have, well,
We'll
and then you
explain
did because of
And
me.
so I missed see what chapter did the decorations, but it was this year's president, Elizabeth, is from, what did you say, Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Yep.
So it's northern Minnesota where it's deep woods, and they had the backdrop where it felt like you were looking at the lakes and up north on a starry night.
Mm-hmm. And I
Right?
believe Elizabeth took that picture when all the northern lights were so active here in Minnesota. So I
Oh,
think that's from her yard.
there was this huge banner of nighttime stars with the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And and that room is so hard to decorate. These convention halls are so big with the high ceilings. How do you make it feel cozy? You bring in the night sky.
Yeah.
It was just felt cozy. It was so tastefully decorated.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the flowers that were wrapped with this vibrant blue. I mean, I'm partial to blue, and it looked like water.
I know. And they were azaleas, which I love azaleas.
Oh, and she had these painted canoe paddles in front of the podiums.
So gorgeous. I mean, I really felt like I was up north at the cabin.
It felt like you were up north. You know,
And it
we
wasn't,
don't-
it wasn't too much either because it didn't distract you from the
No, it
presenters.
was tastefully done. Really nice pieces. Really
Mhm.
nice pieces. I it it stopped me in my tracks because I've seen the convention hall decorated so many different ways.
Yes.
And this year, I think it might been one of my top favorites. I'll have to think on that, but I thought, and that's why I feel so bad I can't shout out what chapter, but I thought I was up. It felt like you were looking at the stars. It
Yeah.
was just on a lake in northern Minnesota.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
gorgeous.
so we arrived the night before, Friday night,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a social event.
Yes,
We
they
talked
did.
about it already. Bunco, right?
Bunco. Bunco.
Not to be confused with bingo.
Nope.
And so this is a dice game. And you move tables, so there's movement. And we had so many people interested. What was the final number?
I think it was 96 people.
96 people.
And
So
we
we-
had some viewers, so people that didn't play. So we had even more people.
Yeah, guests that were just watching. And so, okay. So Deanna and I go to Bunco.
Mhm.
And we split up. We got put at different tables or you moved to a different table. I think that's right. We didn't
We
get to-
started together. But
and
that
then
got
we
split
split.
off.
And there's some things I really like about bingo, which is it's a great way to just really quickly talk to a lot of people.
You mean Bunco, not bingo?
Bunco, I
Yes.
apologize. Bunco. But here's the thing, Deann.
And this is your unpopular
I
opinion?
like to do, it might be unpopular. I like to do what I refer to as Irish exits. A lot of Minnesotans, when they say goodbye, if you ever come to Minnesota, we say goodbye 3 to 5 times
In fact, my husband timed me today. I saw my parents, and he gave me 20 minutes.
just to say goodbye.
Yep.
And I'm guilty of that, right? Or I can get trapped into it. So I like to do an Irish goodbye and just subtly, quietly, discreetly just leave.
Yeah.
I'll go to the bathroom and maybe never come back. And I didn't want to stay up very late because we were speakers the next day.
Right.
And these games, it went, I would say 30 minutes too long.
It
I
might have.
wanted
Yeah.
to go, and I wasn't the only one. We were looking at each other, but we were all having fun. And so we couldn't be grumpy about it. I was really trying to be like, how do I sneak out of this game? And it was impossible. So that's the thing, you're locked in. And so if you were going to play Bunco, just be prepared. There are no Irish exits. You are locked in this game, playing dice, moving tables for a bit.
Yeah.
So, but I was sour. I was so grumpy about that. I was like, I'm not going to be able to sneak off when we sat down. And before we started playing, I was really kind of like, oh, I'm locked in here. There's no way I can discreetly exit. And sure enough, I had so much fun.
Yeah.
I learned something special about myself.
What was that?
I apparently, according to multiple tables, throw the dice in an elegant way. And so, very graceful. I got many compliments about my grace and elegance with dice rolling. But they were kind of making fun of me a little and mocking me a little. And
But
but
I
I
think
think it was with
that's
love.
what sisters do.
Yes. And so I will take the compliment and move on. Now,
Yes.
96 women here,
Yeah.
sisters, were playing to win a prize at the end. And who wins? Who wins?
Me.
Deann. Look at that. Look at that.
I
Minnesota.
won
Listen,
3 prizes.
she got 3 prizes. Okay.
First prizes I got for, what did I get it for?
The
Oh,
first,
I think it was for the most baby Buncos, which are 3 of a kind that aren't the number that you're looking for. And I got
don't recall what a baby bunco is, but I know they were giving prizes out. So she's holding up
hand
uh,
crocheted daisies that were hand crocheted in England.
okay, England hand crocheted
Daisy
daisy
coasters.
coaster. So
Then,
she has some coasters. They're really lovely, vibrant white.
yep.
We'll
the-
check in with her in 7 months and see if they still have that vibrancy.
yeah. Let's hope.
Okay.
Because I am not the
And
person to give it to you to keep it white.
your second prize for.
Actually, I had the second prize and the main prize for the same thing.
Okay.
In the middle of the game, me and my partner scored 65 points and 72 points, which created me becoming the one that scored the most points. And I got a lovely daisy candle that from far away, it smells like vanilla, cinnamon, maybe coffee, but when you sniff it up close, unknown. Had everybody at my table smell it. None of us know what it is. On the bottom, it just says warning.
So you want a mystery candle.
Mystery candle. Love it. But then I won a beautiful Minnesota charcuterie cutting board, which I'm a sucker for anything Minnesota. And it has the town I was born in, Coon Rapids, the town I live in, Northfield, and the town my parents are from, Virginia. So,
Okay, so it's a cutting board shaped like Minnesota with hand carved different towns in it. And it
and
just happens to have all the towns you're from.
and it is not small. My hand for
No, it's huge.
it's huge. The
It's a
box was
decorative
enormous.
cutting board. It's a
Yeah.
decorative cutting board because let's be real. Who is actually going to cut something
Oh my gosh. I'm not. It's gonna hang on my wall
decorative?
somewhere. I
You
don't know
gotta
where.
hang it up. It
Yeah.
goes on the wall. It
Yeah.
goes on the wall.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yep. So,
I
and like the good person I am, the quiet, shy person I am, I hooped and hollered and jumped up and down like I won the Price is Right.
Oh my gosh, you made the biggest scene. And that just foreshadowed the weekend to come. That just foreshadowed so much. So
You said you were gonna be the hot
I
mess.
started calling you a cheater
Yes.
for all to hear. I made sure everyone knew.
Yeah, she
Cheater.
did.
So I don't know how you can cheat at Bunco, but I
I
was
know.
sure. I was like, Deeann won? How the heck did she win? Because my hand was up, but not as long as yours. So, all right. So Bunko, A plus 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 plus.
Oh,
It was
super fun.
fun. It went half an hour too long.
But it might
But
have been
I
because we wouldn't stop talking. Luckily, the woman leading it was a middle school teacher. She got us
oh,
to be
she's
quiet.
brilliant.
She
Middle
was
school
wonderful. The perfect person to run it.
to rally everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my heavens. And so I would say I think they weren't expecting that many people.
No, they originally expected, what did Elizabeth say? Like 40 people? 40 and maybe 50. And then she had to ask her if they could set up two groups. So
Mhm.
we were split into yellow and green.
That's right. The by your color sticker.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. So Friday night we settle in, we have social time. We get up early Saturday morning and we, Deanna Purely Pinned,
Mm-hmm.
were one of the morning acts, right before
Yes.
convention starts. And so they do a nice icebreaker, getting the sisters talking to each other, and then we go up there and there's no walk-on music.
And that was my fault because I was the convention technology chair.
You had too
And
many hats on.
I
Let's be
did. And I made a Spotify playlist, which I asked AI just for Northern Minnesota songs for women in PEO, and our president was from Grand Rapids. So it's awesome Spotify playlist, which is playing. But then I had to be on stage. So I said, I'm just going to leave it playing on my computer. Just put it up and down when you need it. But what that did is the slides were playing on my computer. And so the sound was only Spotify and not our theme song.
okay, so we walk in and we have the recording where there's no walk-on music.
But we did okay.
I think we did okay. Um, but my favorite part, so we get up there and we're like, there's no walk-on music. Okay. And you're setting up the sign and we have our cute purses. Do you show those for on the video?
The cute purse that you got at a very fancy store called
Uh,
Target Boutique. So
Target,
Target.
rest of America.
Yep.
Target, which is a Minnesota company that we
Hmm.
happily support. Uh,
So it's a very
uh,
cute small daisy purse that fit my. I luckily I brought a small wallet and my cell phone.
they were just perfect. And so, a big shout out to Target, the kids, little girls section, with the Easter dresses and
Yes,
outfits
it's perfect.
for your PEO purse.
So many
And
women were jealous, and I just said, "Kimberly got this for me."
well, I wanted us to have matching.
I know it was perfect, and it
It
was
was
good
really
because when I was getting the sign, which we had tested before, but I stowed it underneath the podium. When I pulled it out, the tray holding our sign fell off. So I had to.
I probably could have fixed it, but I had my back turned towards you and I'm talking to the audience explaining how we're gonna record a podcast.
Yep. So I
And
kind of got it strapped back on, but then I used our purses as another way to make sure it stayed.
just to hold our beautiful sign up. You did a wonderful job with that sign. And so it's another wood carving. That's
Which
incredible.
you'll see later on in this episode. Will I will either attach it to this episode or make it a short snippet, but you'll see it.
No, we can add it at the end. You can
Yeah,
see it. Okay. So after we speak, um, the meeting starts. And so we want to be respectful. We're not going to talk about the actual convention meeting.
because this is a PEO inspired podcast.
We're not affiliated.
Right,
We're just inspired by.
right.
So during, well, we can say that you were doing technology and I'm sitting there and I get a text message
During the business meeting.
during the meeting. And so I'm in the audience and I'm listening to the convention speakers and I
Oh,
text. But let me read the text message. So we're not talking about the meeting, but we're talking about the text message. Kimberly gets us. She's sitting in the audience watching this convention meeting get started. And this is one for the record, folks. We text a lot. I have to
yeah,
scroll
we do.
here.
I know
So,
we talked a lot since then, yeah.
that was Saturday morning. Yeah, lots
Yeah.
happened since Saturday morning. Oh heavens. Okay, so I was sitting convention next to my mom. And we're watching the speakers. And let me read it. It says, I slipped and twisted my knee. I can't put weight on it. This is the text message I received. And my response is where, when, how, what? Girl, are you okay? And the response I receive is, I may need urgent care. We'll see. It only hurts when I put weight on it. It only hurts when I put weight on it. My response is speechless. I can take you and we can skip lunch. And that thus begins. And so when
We stayed
after
through the whole meeting.
I say to the mean, I said, okay, I have to stop giggling. Okay, I said, I can take you. We can skip lunch. I
Mhm.
turn to my mom and then I show her the text message and I say to her, I guess I'm not going to get that nap. And she sees that you've hurt your knee and she just goes, and it's not funny. My mom, sweet mom, she just goes, oh dear. No, you're not. Oh, she's so sweet. She goes, oh dear, you're not going to get that nap. I know. That's concerning. Okay. So I walk to the back of the room where you are, and you're still running the show.
Yep, because
Crazy.
the meeting's still going on. But at that point, I had gotten back up to test my knee, and it collapsed on me. So then, so far, the only people that know are my husband, because I texted him right away, and then you. Well, and your table of your chapter members. But I leaned over to the woman next to me, Christine Chosom, and I said, so I need to go to urgent care. And her eyes get big. Do you need a wheelchair? And I'm like, yeah. So she runs out and talks to Holly, the convention coordinator, and they have to go to the hotel to get a wheelchair.
So when the meeting's over, I make my way to the back, and I think now at this point, transitioning into the wheelchair,
Yes.
or you might not have gotten it yet. I think the wheelchair was on its way.
Yeah.
And I said, well, have them wheel you up front. And then wheel you up front. I'll go get my car. I have to go get my car keys and get my car, and I'll pick you up front.
So you
So
boogie
let's
out.
just pause here. Okay, so let's just pause. When you're at convention and your knee goes out or an ankle or you are injured, This is why it's so important to have a convention buddy.
It is. I mean, you had just said during our live portion of the podcast, look out for your sisters, look out for your convention buddy, take care of them. Who knew 10 minutes later? Because I
You'd be
knew
on
you
the
would
floor.
take care of me. I knew you would take care of me. So that's why you were the person I'm like, plus it was
I
hilarious that of course I did this.
I did complain. I was missing my nap. 'Cause when you're away for girls' weekend, that nap, "Oh, I gotta stay up late. We're gonna maybe have a glass of wine." No, it didn't happen.
I
But
felt it was a good excuse to get out of the amendments.
we're not talking about that.
No, we're
Okay.
not talking about business.
So we go to urgent care in St. Cloud. So the first thing I did was just randomly look up urgent cares in St. Cloud and found one, send it to you. So let's go here.
I didn't even look
I go
at
back to my
okay.
hotel room. And am I a sister prepared? So what I did, because this is urgent care and this is her knee.
And it was
I
hot
knew
out,
it was like 86 degrees Fahrenheit out.
which
It
for
was hot.
Minnesota in May, very hot.
Right. It's ridiculously hot. And I'm wearing a thick sweater and pearls. I had my pearls on. Because this convention, it's girl, this is, where
Yes.
else are you going to wear your pearl necklace? And I have a beautiful double string. It was my grandma's.
I actually heard a compliment as I was waiting for you about your outfit.
Loved it. Okay. So I go back to my hotel room to get my car keys. And then I just stood there for a second. And I thought, this is going to be a while. So I changed my clothes into my casual wear and shoes and comfortable shoes and a t-shirt. And then I got my water bottle refilled. I grabbed some magazines. And then so I wasn't exactly like an ambulance with like a rapid response.
But that was okay because in the meantime, Christine is wheeling me out of convention, but all the ladies are trying to sneak through the doors to get to lunch and take a shortcut. So we have to weave our way through everybody. And as we're weaving our way out, we see the president, Elizabeth. Her eyes got as big as saucers. And I went, I twisted my knee. Kimberly's taking me to urgent care. I'm fine. Out we go. We get
And
to the
off.
doors, and Christine's like, I hope that woman, because there's a woman at the doors, I hope she can hold the doors for us. And I realize that's my chapter president, Sarah Nielsen. So I holler, Sarah! She turns around, hey, wait! What happened? So I told her. So then Christine left her with me because it was cold in that room. It
Yeah.
was really cold, and so Sarah had gone outside to warm up. So she was happy to wait with me because she was freezing. So we
Well,
had a nice visit
else.
and chat.
So everyone else went to lunch. You're standing outside waiting for me because I'm, getting ready. I'm doing that
I see you.
wardrobe thing.
I see you in the skyway going
Skipping along with my walk.
parking around, waving at us like, "Oh, there she is."
I did.
That's
I
her.
was trying to get your attention. Like,
You
I'm
did.
coming, and I'm just, taking my time while you're in pain and can't walk.
Mhm. In the meantime,
Because that's what a convention buddy does.
I know.
We
Take
don't
care of me.
we don't like speed up. I still was gonna walk with leisure.
Well, we have already learned that if you rush, you injure yourself. And you then told me for almost the rest of I think the rest of convention, slow down. So I was trying to now embrace my inner Kimberly.
Yeah, you gotta slow down. It's a way to keep your composure when you're interacting with people, when you're dealing. At work, I think about it a lot with my daughter, just in life. If we slow down, we can think a little more before we speak. We can control our body a little better when we are leaping across the floors. It there's so much rush.
Yeah.
So slow down. And it is an everyday reminder I tell myself. So it is something I still work on.
I obviously need to do more work on that.
Well, let me say, the medical care team in St. Cloud was, I thought they were excellent.
They were wonderful. Now, you, again, as we say, you're from the cities, so you were expecting like a 4 or 5 hour wait.
I know.
I am from Northfield. I can actually see the hospital out my window. And I had been to the hospital a month earlier. I just saunter in there like, "Hey, Deann, welcome back," and in I go. So, but it was not much of a wait. In fact, we had a lovely visit with a woman whose husband picked up a cake for a party and fell in the parking lot and had cake all over him.
Oh,
I
she
felt
was
seen.
lovely. And so I did feel that all the nurses and doctors looked young,
Oh my god,
but they
so
were in a
young.
Saturday shift,
Mhm.
but they were excellent. So we got you patched up, bagged up.
So I
Um,
had an X-ray. So just an update. I had an X-ray. It's not
Nothing's
broken.
broke.
In fact, but as I was at my X-ray, my my convention buddy went and got me lunch. So she left to and went to McDonald's because we had skipped lunch now, and we are hungry, and I was really thirsty because I left my beverage behind. And so I'm at X-ray, and the tech is asking me what happened, and I tell her what I'm there for, and I explain what PEO is, and she thanked me for our service. But I have a connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and her sister has it too. So we bonded, and anyway, my X-ray's fine. It's not broken. I've now been to the doctor, but she doesn't know, so I have to go get more imagery. But I can put weight on it now. So there's your update on my health.
So it's not bone. There's some sort of muscle related injury.
Muscle or tissue or
What
something.
muscle tissue? There's something going on. But so now at this point, if it would have been me injured, I would have gone home and called it a day. Would have called home and said, "Goodbye. I'm need my bed. This is a big deal." And I do feel like we kind of jinxed ourselves before convention because we said one of us would make a scene.
Yeah. And I
And
told you, and you said it would be you, and I said, I think it's going to be me.
and I remember thinking, what could you possibly do?
Yeah. So while we're in urgent care, laughing hysterically the whole time, the whole
We
time,
did.
we came
So
up with a reason. So it was good for why I was there. And and so yeah, and I'll tell that reason a little bit.
okay. Okay. I think once people see our or listen to our convention, they'll understand what happened. I was talking so much that can I just say? Can I just say
Sure.
you wanted this limelight? I was getting too much attention. Everyone was coming up to me after we talked about the podcast, and Deann felt like she needed the spotlight. And boy, did you get it. You got it. Right, because the rest of the convention, Dan, no. Did she go home? No.
No,
She powered through in a
I
wheelchair.
we did get back in time to attend the second half of the next meeting, but I listened to you and I went upstairs and I laid down and they gave me an ice pack and I put it on and I took a nap and then you called me about 5
Yeah, I was
and
getting ready
you
to go to dinner.
tried to convince me not to go to dinner. And I said, "But I bought a cute dress and I'm hungry."
Again, we are different responses. If my knee's out, you're not going to see me for 3 to 5 months. Like,
Yeah.
go get my crutches and crutch myself home But you stayed for convention, and the we went to the dinner.
So I hobbled
Well,
over.
I went ahead.
You
I
went
went ahead
first,
of you.
about a half an hour before me.
Yeah. And so you got ready and you came over and then we got you back in that wheelchair.
But first, I hobble over. I barely make it in the door, and I'm met with a clipboard. At first, they asked me how I was doing. It was very sweet and very nice, and then said,
Paperwork.
we need you to fill out this accident form."
Paperwork. See, if it was me, I would have done my Irish exit. There would have been no paperwork. Nobody would have been able to find me. I would have just Irish exited out of there. And no,
So everybody's
but
asking me what
you went
happened.
back. You went back.
Yep. Everybody's asking me what happened, and I am saying as loud as I can, "Kimberly was getting too much attention. I need some spotlight. What about me, people?" So I get in this rinky-dink wheelchair again. It has no foot support, so me and my bum knee, I have to hold my leg
It,
out.
it, it was a worn wheelchair.
It
It,
existed, and I was grateful for it because
it
I
was
could not walk.
wonderful. It was a wonderful. Because you actually could continue on,
Mhm.
and we went and had a lovely dinner.
It was
Well, we
wonderful,
had
and
some
because
happy hour.
your chapter took me in,
Yep,
and in fact, Sarah took over my wheelchair. She saw me and she just took the wheelchair and starts wheeling me down. And where do we want to sit? We need to be on an aisle. We can't go in the middle. Not like
yep.
this. So we go in the far back table and sit
And
there.
I moved a chair out of the way so you could
Mhm.
just wheel up and just stay in the wheelchair.
And at
And I
first,
think that worked.
the fir- at first I thought this is awful because the table leg was there, but the brace was there, so I could put my leg there and keep it up.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and dinner was great. It was
It was,
wonderful, and
yep.
yeah, and then I thought about staying.
For the project program to hear all the speakers. This
But
one,
I had left my backpack behind, which had all my stuff in it, and I needed that at least. So I said, I have to at least go in there and get my backpack.
we were both visibly exhausted.
Oh my gosh, your mom the next day said Kimberly was so white because, as you've already said, you didn't get your nap.
I didn't get my nap. I was so tired. I was so tired.
So we
And
went
so
back and we're exhausted.
we're exhausted. Wait, so we decide I'm gonna wheel you back to your hotel room during the project day.
We're taking the
And
wheelchair
now
with
the
us.
project dinner is where I cry. We talk
Hmm.
about that to the convention audience, and so I was wheeling you back thinking, "Oh, I'm not gonna have that cathartic cry." Okay, we get out, but we're talking and we're laughing and we're being silly, and that's what convention really is about. It's silly time.
Yeah.
I mean, I really unleash my silliness. It's silly. Let's be silly, and so we're being silly, and I felt bad about your knee, and so I just tried to be as silly and sarcastic and ridiculous as I could come up with, and and then we have this backpack of yours that is like 60, 70 pounds.
Because
This you
I had a full water bottle. I had
Okay.
2 bottles of Coke with me just in case I needed more
It was
caffeine.
all beverage.
And I had my computer, my iPad, I had an external battery pack, I had the GoPro still in there because we were gonna interview
So
people,
it was heavy. So this
full of
backpack
tech and beverages.
is completely full to the max, and it is a heavy backpack. So we put it on the back of the wheelchair
So
to
that
hold
it's
the
easy to
seat
carry.
back.
I didn't wanna put it on you, it's
Because I was
heavy.
gonna put it on my back, and I was like, "Whoa, this is heavy." And so we put it on the back of the wheelchair, and I'm wheeling your backpack and you back to your hotel room. And then we have your crutches too, and you're holding on to your crutches. So we get to your hotel room door, and yeah, and I set the wheelchair and to help you with the crutches, get you up so you can unlock the door. And as soon as you stood up, that heavy, heavy, heavy backpack, it tips back all the way, and the whole wheelchair just flips upside down. and I'm so tired and exhausted because when you're a caregiver, there's a lot of sisters that are caregivers. When you're a caregiver, it wears you out too, just as much as the patient.
So now we're
And
punchy.
you don't have the adrenaline rush from any pain. You're just tired. And so the wheelchair flips over and I just start laughing. I'm exhausted. No, at first I yell at you because you're standing at your doorway. The door's open. And I'm like, you're in the way. I can't fix this wheelchair. Just walk through your door. Well, you just walk through your door. And then I go, oh, wait, you can't walk. And when I realized I told you to walk through your door and that, oh, you can't walk, I just start
If I wanted
laughing.
to walk, I couldn't have anyway because I was laughing so hard. All I could do was get the latch and flip it so that I didn't have to try to open it
I
again
was like,
because we're
just get
hold
in there. I can't
just holding
the
onto the
wheelchair,
door.
get in the way. I get this wheelchair upright.
I
Wheel
think
it
my
into your
I think
room.
my crutches fell too at that point.
Everything fell. You fell, the crutches fell. You fell over, the crutches fell, the wheelchair fell over. And I just start laughing, so I fall over. And we were so tired. And and this wheelchair Bunco, we just started laughing in fits. I mean, we couldn't stop laughing, and then I was crying. There
And
was
you
my
can't
cathartic release
so
of tears.
we finally
But
got in the room.
oh
Oh.
heavens! And in the room, and I think I kind of like threw your wheelchair in there, and I almost just turned around and ran away because I was so tired.
For a
But
second, but I
a
think
convention
my
buddy
minute
doesn't do that.
no, and I think the Minnesota goodbye, my excessive Minnesota goodbye stuck you too. So,
And so we sat no, I just wanted to sit down and make sure you were okay.
oh, so
And that's when I was a little more jokes aside and asked, have you cried yet? How much pain? Like really checked in with you.
which I did for a
And
little bit because I feel guilty that everybody's having to uh, do extra things because of me. So now, because I think you would ask me in the clinic too, can you drive? I'm like, I don't know. I'll test my foot later, see if I could press the gas pedal. So I talked to my husband, who was in New Orleans, coming home, and I said, I don't know. I can maybe press the gas pedal. He said, but can you switch your foot back and forth quickly? I'm like, oh, yeah, I can't do that. So he said, well, I'll come get you. So he called my parents in Coon Rapids, which is 45 minutes away. And he drove from the airport to my parents, and my parents you came to my room about the time my parents were driving him up to pick me up,
yeah,
so
that's right.
th then he spent the night, but he texted you had just left when he texted, he was, like, 10 minutes out, and he asked if I was in your room. 'Cause he knows that I'm awful,
The
and,
night before, usually my room.
I was in your room the night before, and, so I said, "No, I'm by myself, Kimberly just left, and I'm just spent." So my parents just dropped him off and turned around and went straight back home. So but in the meantime, you kept me company. We had wonderful chats about things and it was great.
Well, and he could take over wheelchair duty.
Yes. Yes.
And so I went back to my room and I went right to bed and I slept for 10 hours. I just got this nice, deep, exhausted, deep sleep. And I woke up the next morning and I had text message from several sisters like, are you up for hanging out, whatnot? And I, I slept through it all. I was so tired. And then I leave early Sunday mornings. So I
So that you
never
can be
eat.
with your daughter.
So I leave convention early on Sundays. And I try to get home because I got to drive through the entire Twin Cities. And when I get home, then it's back to mom mode, laundry, get the family ready for the week ahead. So I, I've over the years, I've just learned it works best for me to leave early Sunday morning. And I'm texting you to see how you're doing. And where are you?
In the middle of the meeting.
You went back.
Yeah.
You go back and you helped some more.
because some ladies were sending me slides Saturday night for Sunday morning. And so I felt I needed to be there to fix the slides and whatever. But they'd already had it by the time I showed up, everything's done. And so I just had to sit there. And I actually had to not touch anything. Oh no,
Uh,
because I'm also the finance chair. So I had to go up and do something too on the stage.
oh,
And
so did they wheel you on the stage?
I didn't ask anybody to. I just crunched my way up and
And used
crunched
your
my way
crutches.
back. So, because I needed to be louder so people could see me.
You got the spotlight. You for sure did. Oh, well, I
Ah,
do want to say a special shout out for the Minnesota, s- what the people I did interact with. I had a chance to catch up with a few past state presidents,
yes.
and that was I love seeing them every year. I don't know, they're some of our favorite, sisters really look up to. And there was a great turnout this year.
There was. There were so many past state presidents. And the um the generation ahead of us, the two past state presidents, Ruth and Karen, who were back to back, they're basically us, a generation ahead. So um it was fun seeing them and them picking on us because I think they were at the Bunco table behind us too. But that was fun. But
Yeah.
at our Bunco table was the Cotty rep. She was
Well,
from Cotty.
she works for Cody. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that was interesting to catch up with her. And we saw a lot of, um, it was just great. I, okay. So I know we're kind of going on and on, but I really, even with the chaos and not being able to see everything, had a wonderful convention time.
It was so great. I learned so much. I met some amazing people, and one of the people we saw at the beginning, um, was the international rep,
Yes.
Preeti, and I have her name, Preeti Bir Birdi, Birrdi. I am horrible at pronouncing names, Preeti. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Crazy. Yeah, she was such
She
a delight.
is amazing. I love her. We wanted to interview her for the podcast, but I did get her to say she is willing to be interviewed later on. We could do this.
So look out for her. Maybe we can get a guest interview.
So she's from Toronto, so our neighbors up north. We're basically sister state countries. Um,
I mean, well, actually, we're further north.
yeah, we are than Toronto. Yeah.
She's from Toronto. So Minnesota is actually further north than Toronto is.
Yeah, we talked to her that first night and trying to explain this podcast that no, it's inspired, not owned, and just explaining things to her and she has a, such a wonderful view about PEO and 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 I don't know, she just everything she said just resonated with me. Um and
I
I
always love the international speakers every
yeah,
year. They're so polished and professional, yet warm and approachable. It's they're leaders, and there's something about going through being a state or province, officer. So you go and you're chapter officer, then you go through and be a state officer, and then you go through the international, stages as an officer. You come out the other side, and you see it with all of them. Just such really polished, professional, elegant, articulate leaders. They're so well, spoken, but yet warm. It's she was so approachable and so friendly, and they are every year. They're always so um just kind, but impressive. I think that's where I'm looking or searching for.
I could have talked to her for hours. I loved visiting with her.
I really did too. I really did too. They're really um I think Alex, who was the current international president, Do you remember when she came to convention to
Yes. Mhm.
Minnesota
Mhm.
as a representative? And she was another one that I just liked so much, and she was so polished, professional, but yet warm and friendly and approachable. And
Mhm.
it's such a mixture, right? To be such a strong woman and leader, but still keep your warmth.
Yeah.
And they all have that warmth and love, and that's yeah. So I love seeing whoever's from international, who are they, and getting to know them and spending a few minutes. And this year we got a lot of time with her. So
Yeah. I was glad I got to visit with her beforehand because, I just heard a lot of ringing in my ears during her speech since I was broken, um, and I
yeah,
heard it
it
was
was during
wonderful
her
and
speech I
amazing.
got the text message too. So yeah, I was like, "Don't interrupt. What's going on?" Oh, yep, we're off for an adventure.
Yeah, but
Oh,
she
well,
was just wonderful.
I hope your knee does get better. You heal.
It will. Oh, I also wanna mention that, at the dinner, Elizabeth's sons, each one of all of her 3 sons talked about her, and then they presented her with a beautiful blanket with family pictures all over it. It was just gorgeous, and all the table decorations were made by her husband from trees from her house. They were charcuterie boards that her husband made, handmade. And then
Thoughtfulness. There was
oh,
just a thoughtfulness to all the details this year. Really was.
so thought and just everything fit perfectly. And then, you weren't there for the invitation to convention,
Yeah,
but,
'cause so for next year's theme,
oh, I think it's
Hero Jackson.
Together We Rise, I think, but it's a graduate in a pink, um, cap and gown or pink, oh, green, for hunter green cap and gown,
Okay, like a
and there's
silhouette of a graduate?
no, you can see a woman with a
Okay.
green cap and gown, and below her are 5 women that are international, kind of different headdresses, um, and during this, it was just so it wasn't like the typical invitations where they have music and they're handing out candy and papers and whatever, but it was like a beautiful thing set to music where they had signs talking about the different projects, how you can help women and stuff. And then they all kind of merged in the middle in front of the stage. And one woman got up on a step ladder and they put this green robe on her and a green cap and gown because they're from Edina, green, and then, because I had seen women with head wraps on, I'm like, what's going on?" And they redid the logo in human form, and I started tearing up. It was so beautiful.
How theatrical.
It
Wow,
was gorgeous. It was,
that's
oh,
great.
so unbelievable. You would have sobbed. It was stunning.
Yeah. And I miss it every year, and I do feel bad, but that sounded like a real show. Real show.
Yeah, yeah, it was
The logo.
that yeah, because when I had asked him, "What kinda slide do you want? I can make any slide, whatever." "Oh, just this logo." I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever." It was weird to me. I thought, "What are they gonna do?" And then they just sent me a song. I was like, "What is going on? Are they just what? Are they just gonna hand out paper and not even talk?" Oh, it was beyond anything I could have imagined.
It was a surprise. You had to
Mhm.
wait.
And Christine next to me, "Are you crying?" "Yes." It was
Oh,
beautiful. And both speeches were lovely. And Carol started talking about what Elizabeth had done and transitioned it to, because she talked about finding your true north. And then it was just so beautiful how it transitioned into hers. Oh, it was. And she talked about other chapters throughout the state, not just her chapter, not just the other board members. She just talked about what other chapters are doing to help women around the state. It was so you would have loved it. Hopefully, somebody has it so that you can listen to it. It was wonderful.
yeah, that would be nice. I have the dates. I saw that they released the dates for next year, and I put it in my calendar for next year. So we'll we'll plan another wild weekend as we do.
Yeah, and, a few because I was asked by people if we were rooming together, and we used to, but we stopped because, as you said,
We
we're old
aged
enough.
out. we aged out.
But also, we need sleep now because we're too old,
I
and
mean, I slept through the party Saturday night.
we
I'm
both
so
did.
I'm
We
so
were
tired.
gone,
I'm
and
so tired.
I think I don't even know if they got out of the projects program before we fell asleep.
No, I don't think so. I think, well, for me at least, I, um, well, I think again, it's the excitement of convention. Yeah.
The other thing, I don't wanna give away what we talk about, which is gonna come up following this, which is our live podcast that we did at convention, but we talked about a few chapters, and they immediately came up to us after, and so it's just PEO women are so amazing, and my just these women coming right up to us and talking to us, but also when I hurt myself and everybody showing care and compassion, although some thought it was a continuation, like we were doing some kind of skit, you and me, as you're wheeling me out. Like, no, this is real. Because they had just seen us with me on
On
2 legs.
stage.
But everybody had so much love and support, and, I know that PEO is amazing, and I know we've said how supportive and wonderful, but the women that didn't even know me are coming up to check on me. One woman said she couldn't sleep because she was so worried about me. And it was just and Elizabeth so I had texted the vice president because I had her phone number. I texted her from urgent care that, "I'm going home, everything's okay." And I get a text 1 minute later, "This is Elizabeth on Carol's phone. Here's my number. I'd like to come see you if you're open to it." And Elizabeth is still checking on me to this day. And everybody is so kind. I'm so grateful I'm a PEO for so many reasons, but the loving concern they've shown for me, women that don't even know me, it's just I'm grateful.
Well, I mean, you took the prize at Bunco and then you abruptly leave.
Peace out.
You abruptly leave.
In a
Um,
fanfare.
no. They were everyone was worried and asking me about you, and I was like, "I'm doing great too." "Oh, well, we're gonna talk about Deann." "Yep, alright." So,
Oh, your mom came up to me at the end
yeah,
of
my mom was very worried about you. My
I know
mom.
I know, she was so sweet. She came up to me at the end and she said, "That would normally be me." And I said, "Yep, welcome to me."
Yes, because I go with her to the doctor appointments.
I said, "Thank you for training her so well. She took so much great care of me." But I thanked her for you.
No.
Because I am grateful for you that you took such good care of me. And my husband said to tell you before, and I told you this at dinner, because he wanted me to text you because, like, I wasn't going to go somewhere. He knows me better. But he said, text her in all capital letters, thank you. So I told you that. And what did you say?
I don't accept.
You want, my husband's a pilot. You want airline tickets. He,
I'd like to
he,
I'd like a trip somewhere.
he laughed so hard. At first, I think people at the table were like, what?
And I was like, "Yeah, I don't accept your thank you. Try again."
It was awesome. So, I thank
This is
you
what a
so
convention
much.
buddy does. This is
Ah,
what, we have to be there for each other and look after each other, and that's what it's all about.
yeah,
That's
we were
that
close before, but you mean so much to me, and
oh,
I knew you would be there for me. I knew I didn't even have to ask. So when you said, "I'll take you," somehow I just already knew that you would. Not that I was gonna not that I was asking, but I
well,
had
I
no
said
doubt that if I
speechless first because
yeah,
I was laughing, and
I know. It took everything into me not to laugh out loud when I saw that.
I was
Uh,
like, because I was like, "Who, what, where, what, when?" And then I was like, "Oh, she's serious. Okay, I'm speechless. I'll go. Let's go."
and you kept checking on me, but what it was doing, it was, like, keeping me out of my head, and you kept me so entertained, and really, I didn't have a lot of pain. I took 2 Motrin, that's all I needed. So, you really
You
helped
just couldn't use your leg. Your leg
well,
was not functioning. Okay.
whatever. I got
Oh,
to ride around like the princess I am. So
And that's why I went to sleep so early that night. I was exhausted. I was like,
I'm wheeling my
I'm
ass all over.
taking away from caregiving. What? I'm gonna caregive some more? Okay. All right.
You know, when I
Keep
texted
going.
my dad's response was, "Well, you are at that awkward age." Thanks, Dad.
I've been at that awkward age since 8. So
Yeah.
here
Anyway,
we are.
thank you so much for being there for me.
Oh, you're so welcome. All right.
Convention was eventful. Um, and we met a bunch of new people, and I'm sure everybody else out there that went to convention met new people. And so I can't wait to see what next year's like. I will have better shoes that actually have traction. And the tech guy said he thinks he has a mat he can put behind the table. And my husband, I think, is going to buy me a whole roll of bubble wrap. So I will be safe. You just have
So
to make sure you have good shoes.
so convention 2026, we closed the book on it. It was a wild weekend.
Yeah.
Nothing, predictable, but we had so much fun. We made lifetime memories, and I'm so grateful for that time to gather.
Hmm.
And we will continue, Convention
Yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah. I can't wait, convention buddy.
All right. So we were able at convention this year to speak as the opening group, kind of the opening act as one of the workshops before the actual convention meeting starts. So here we are. Have a listen to us at the St. Cloud, Minnesota Convention of 2026.
Enjoy. Thanks for listening.
Thanks. Have a good one.
From Minnesota sisters with stories to share. We're purely pinless sisterhood meets pop culture. Purely pinned, come on.
Welcome to Purely Pinned, a PEO-inspired pop culture podcast. I'm Kimberly Owens from Chapter CL in St. Paul, Minnesota.
And I'm Deann Lufkin from Chapter FR in Northfield.
Hi, Deann.
Hi, Kimberly.
I want to talk about teacups. So, my grandma was a PEO, and she had PEO china with little daisies on it. And I now have the china. The teacup and saucer is so delicate and so small. And when I'm hosting PEO, my sisters like buckets of coffee. They do not want a splash of coffee and tea.
No,
They want a hearty drink.
I need my caffeine.
So, as a hostess, we're there to make our guests comfortable. I want to be the right, proper hostess and make them really feel welcomed, and I'm not depriving them of coffee.
I also want them to stay awake.
I mean, Chapter P, you guys drink buckets of coffee, right?
Yeah.
Buckets. So, the teacup or a modern day mug. I like putting out modern day mugs with a good handle. I mean, I have a white set, so it blends nicely.
Well, you're fancy. I have giant mugs that I think scared some of my Lutheran sisters. And so I have to go find my normal size mugs.
Well, so I had a sister tell me last night the teacup is from back in the day when they didn't have decaf. And so if you're going to drink some coffee at the afternoon or evening, you just wanted a tiny little splash of coffee to give you a zip, but not keep you up all night.
Yep.
But now the times have changed, right? This might be an unpopular opinion, but I think we need to pivot away from the teacup to the modern day mug.
I do too. And I prefer a jug.
That's too far. I won't go there.
Oh, okay.
It still needs to be porcelain and nice and fancy
Fine.
at my
You're
house.
fancy.
I am. Okay, so we'll see about that. But that's I think, as a hostess, I always like to host versus co-host. And so I do think about it. Now, I do put the china plates out because those of you who have the fine china, the plates are always the easiest to hand wash. Am I right? When you're doing the teacups and the saucers, and they have to dry.
I would break them.
You don't dare put them in the dishwasher.
Oh, no,
All
no,
that
no.
paint, hundreds of years gone. Okay. So modern day mug, dishwasher friendly.
You know what's even more friendly? Paper cups.
No, you and your paper cups. No. No.
Why do I want to wash a dish?
No, modern day mug, that's enough of a change for me. Okay. We're at convention. This is so exciting. I have a chapter here that I'm a fangirl.
What is a fangirl?
Okay. Do you guys have fangirl chapters? So you're a fangirl chapter. If there's a chapter out there that you don't know, but you wonder. So when I joined P.E.O. when I was 19, so like 30 years ago. Okay, so at 19 years, when I was 20, I went away down to Minnesota State University. And so there's a chapter in Winona. And so my chapter said, reach out to them. Here's their contacts. Reach out to them. And I'm on campus, and I'm like, and I couldn't drum up enough courage back then to contact Winona. So whenever there's a posting on Facebook, and it says Winona, I scan the photo. I wonder what they're like.
Yeah, for me, my parents are from Virginia, Minnesota. Woo! And my grandfather built a cabin on Lake Vermilion.
That's her.
So my fangirl chapter is the Lake Vermilion chapter. You guys have the best pictures. You look so much fun. It looks amazing. I think I heard somebody snowmobiled to your meetings. I think it's amazing. But the thing about fangirl chapters, okay, I love the monkeys. Love them. I love Mickey Dolenz. I saw him in the airport and freaked out. And my husband said, go see him. I said, I can't.
Are you talking the band, the Monkees?
Yeah, hey. I know every episode. Have them. own
Weren't
them.
they like reality TV before reality TV?
They weren't real. Anyway, they were manufactured. But I couldn't go see him. And I kind of feel like that about my fangirl chapters. Like, I love Lake Vermilion so much, like almost too much.
We're not stalkers,
No, we'd like to be.
but when they post something, it catches our eye.
Yeah, so we stalk from afar.
So there's always that city, that chapter out there. I wonder what they're like.
You know you have one.
Are they a Saturday chapter? Maybe brunch?
Oh, brunch? Mimosas? Maybe.
Or just champagne?
Ooh.
So I think we all have fangirl chapters. I'm planning to retire in like 20 years in Perham. And Perham has a chapter. And I know they meet in like the first Monday night of the month or something like that. And so I'm scouting them out. I'm like, okay, will they accept me in 20 years? I hear they have nice lakes up there.
You better be nice to them.
So don't be afraid. Find the courage I don't have to talk to your fan chapters. If there's a city or town that's here.
And you know, it is okay to go to other chapter meetings, so sometime I might invade the Lake Vermilion chapter.
I think you should.
I should.
I at least know when Perham meets, so that's the first step. I talked to them last year at convention. It's like, Perham. Winona, I will be admiring from afar.
Just know she loves you.
Okay, we're at convention, so let's talk convention. What are you looking forward to the most this weekend?
Sleep. No,
You're not going to get that. That's
No.
not
Snacks?
scheduled.
No.
No sleep.
I'm actually looking forward to meeting all sorts of new sisters out there, and the Golden Girl lunch should be fun. And if you haven't been to the marketplace yet, get there soon because the things are disappearing. So I went there early yesterday.
Okay,
Yeah.
what I'm looking forward to. Okay, and this, you're going to laugh. The convention co-chair announcements.
And okay, so what you might not know about Kimberly is she and her mother, Kay Owens, were convention co-chairs.
Yes, we were. So my mom, so here's what happened. Kay Owens, my mom, in back, let's embarrass her, signed up to be a convention co-chair. And for her convention, they didn't have a co-chair. And I was like, boy, that sucks for you.
Yeah, you're so sweet to your mom.
She said, would you do it? No, I don't even know what that is. No, that sounds like responsibilities.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. So then convention co-chairs, they've been planning 3 years for today. So this is year 3. Oh, no, Mom, sucks for you. Good luck. You better find somebody.
So how did she get
In
you?
year 2, she wrote my name down.
That's where you get it from.
She wrote my name down. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. That's fine. I'm going to convention, but I'll be there, but I'm not going to do anything. That's year 2. Year 1, going to these meetings, and I'm like, oh, this is a lot of work. Mom, you can't do all this. Oh, that's a lot of, Mom, you're going to do all of that? I'm still not helping. I think it was Thursday before convention.
What?
I said, okay, how can I help? And we had the most fun. Okay, so long story there. But why, as a convention the co-chairs, they're worried about you losing your pin. That's like the biggest fear I had. I was like, oh, if a sister loses her pin, I don't want to have to find that pin, and then I'm responsible for a lost pin.
And no name was on it.
A year.
Yeah.
But okay, so luckily our convention, we didn't lose any pins. I'm asking all of you, look out for your sister sitting next to you, in front of you, behind you, you don't know. If
Before the
somebody
meeting.
dropped something, hey, you dropped something. Because the convention co-chair announcements turn really long, and we've got a lost pin. Everybody stop what you're doing. And so I look forward to every convention to what are the announcements. Is anything lost? And I hope if they're short and sweet, that's great. But
Yeah. Or like an earring. So maybe check out, do you have 2 earrings in or just 1?
I mean, so look out for your sisters, and they're the announcements. So that's what I'm most, but we have
But
to
the
talk
thing
about.
that has the most impact. So my first
Start
convention,
coming to convention.
I was not quite prepared for. And the thing that had the most impact was the projects program.
The Saturday night program. Yep.
And why was it impactful for you?
Because it makes me cry every year.
You cry at the drop of a hat.
Every year. It's scheduled. At this time, Kimberly will shed tears. Good stories, sad stories, overcoming stories, doesn't matter.
They walk on the
week is
stage
different
and she
every year.
cries.
There'll be tears, bring tissues. It's so amazing and overwhelming and emotional to be part of something so special. I try not to ugly cry, but I just wow, you just can't help it because some of these stories
Yeah, they're amazing.
I-
And it makes you feel better about all the garage sales or the nut sales or the cheese sale and all these things that you have to do. Oh, I've got to go sit at this table at this event and sell cookies. But you go to a convention and you hear how much that money impacts these people's lives, it makes you want to go and earn more money.
So I'm a 4th generation, possibly 5th generation. There could be an aunt in Iowa, but 4th generation P.E.O. And so I know we talk a lot about the fundraising, but I think of us as stewards. Every P.E.O. member, we are stewards of all this money. It's a lot of money. And we give it away, loan it out. We help other women get higher education with all this money that we are the stewards of, that my grandma and her mother and then her mother put in the bank. And we need to find recipients for this money.
Yes.
And Saturday night is where we get to see who are the recipients of this money that we steward. And it makes me cry because I think some of those pennies were my great-great-grandma's pennies. And they've grown and they've made more money. And it's making a difference in modern day life for these recipients. And all of you are stewards, we being members all have a say in how this money gets spent and given and loaned out.
True.
So yeah, all right, so I'll be crying in back. You don't need to look. There'll be a tear.
She's not sobbing, so you won't hear it. I mean, you might, but
I mean, it's happened.
yeah. But it also then helps me figure out, oh, wait, these are the people I could go and find and maybe help them with their education.
Yeah. So with that, I think we can say thank you and join us next time for joining Purely Pinned, our PEO-inspired podcast.
Thank you for having us and listening to us babble.
All right, so we're going to stop it there, but thank you.